Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to Comic Book Nostalgia. I'm CB Nostalgia and I'm really excited to talk about a story about Marvel Studios. Well, as many of you know, this week is D23, and honestly, there's not a bigger conference for Disney. Front and center at this conference is going to be Marvel Studios, and many of us are anticipating a huge weekend. Now, the main thing I wanted to talk about was some major new casting news that hasn't been confirmed yet, but will have major implications for the MCU. Now, like we always say, this is one of those stories that didn't come from Kevin Feige or Marvel Studios. They obviously won't confirm until D23 starts, but this particular report does indicate some major, and I mean major talent coming to the MCU in the form of several big-name actors. Now, the initial report came from Entertainment Insider Emmett Kennedy. He dropped a list of Hollywood megastars that, if true, will be a huge part of this week's D23. Let's go ahead and check out the tweet that he dropped. Wow, that is a list of talent. John Boyega, Henry Cavill, Jodie Comer, Daisy Edgar-Jones, John Krasinski, Giancarlo Esposito, and the legendary Denzel Washington. Now, like we've been saying, not a lot of this has been confirmed yet, but this is an absolutely amazing list of talent, and I could totally see Marvel Studios snagging any one or all of these actors, if at all possible. Now, the big question will be, who are they all going to play? And I think some of the upcoming projects may provide some answers. We are expecting a lot of casting news for several projects, including the Fantastic Four, who we should get a full cast and director announcement at D23, as well as the Xmen, along with other new projects like Marvel's upcoming Nova project and Loki Season 2, as well as the biggest elephant in the room, the Xmen. Now, it's quite obvious to me that John Krasinski will indeed be returning as Reed Richards for the Fantastic Four. That one is pretty easy, so that leads me to believe that Jodie Comer will be playing Sue Storm. Obviously, that hasn't been confirmed, but she totally looks the part, and both of them would match up nicely as a couple on screen. Now, the rest of them, it's hard to tell, but let's address one of the big ones right away, and that would be Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill has been rumored to join the MCU for quite a while, and there have been multiple characters that have been rumored. There has been a rumor in the last week, also unconfirmed, that he is indeed part of Loki Season 2 and will play a member of the Squadron Supreme and long-rumored part for Henry, Hyperiion. But I don't want to jump on that right away. There are several other possibilities for Henry that would work out pretty good. Both Richard Rider's version of Nova as well as Captain Britain have always been at the forefront with Cavill joining the MCU, and I wouldn't discount either. I also wouldn't look past him being a villain. There are several big-name Marvel villains coming up in the next couple of years, and one particular is known for his, well, outlandishly good looks and hiding behind a mask. Can you imagine if Cavill was actually cast as Dr. Doom? It would prevent any confusion with the character he played over at DC, and fans would go absolutely bananas. Now, the two castings that are hardest for me to pin down would be John Boyega and Daisy Edgar-Jones, and I think they fit in nicely in a few places. We are very likely to get some announcements for Blade. That's going into production soon, and we have very few cast members associated with that project. This will leave openings for both actors to find pretty solid parts there. But the real question is, would these actors, especially Boyega, kind of take a secondary role? And honestly, I don't think they will. I'm starting to wonder if these two will be part of the Xmen. I could totally see Edgar-Jones playing Jean Grey, and John Boyega could fit in multiple spots. I've heard a couple people mention Bishop, but quite honestly, I think he would make a great Hank McCoy, or even as Scott Summers. I don't believe Boyega would join the MCU in some sort of secondary role, especially after what happened with Star Wars. So whatever character he has been cast as, it's obviously going to be a major lead that has a long-running presence in the MCU. Now that leaves us the last two, Giancarlo Esposito and Denzel Washington. And many people have been speculating for a while that Esposito will indeed be Charles Xavier. This leaves the villain spot in that X-Men movie open, and I have heard many people mention Washington as a potential Magneto. Now, quite honestly, I don't know if that will be the case. Denzel Washington is 67 years old. He'll be 68 in December. Even though Ian McKellen was quite old when he played the role, I don't think that will fit with the Marvel formula. Not only do I not think he's playing Magneto, I wouldn't be surprised if he's part of another project. Many people have speculated for a while that the near-perfect role for him in the Marvel Universe would be Blue Marvel, and to have him part of the upcoming Marvels movie. Now that movie is totally in the can as of today, but that doesn't mean he wasn't on set or didn't shoot anything for that project. Marvel's pretty good at keeping things under wraps, and having Denzel Washington sign on to the MCU would be a card they would hold awfully close until the last second. I could also totally see him playing some sort of mentor role in Blade. The first part that comes to mind is Whistler, a character played by Chris Christopherson in the Wesley Snipes series, and I honestly think Denzel would fill that role pretty nicely. It's not too physical, and he is absolutely the perfect age for that part. Now, obviously, all these castings are just pure speculation on my part, and until we get confirmation from Marvel Studios, we don't know if they're all actually real. If Marvel manages to land this pool of talent moving forward, it should give everybody a ton of optimism about where they're going, and I think we should all remain pretty excited. Obviously, we're going to follow D23 all week, so if you want to get all your updates on D23, Disney Plus Day, and this major talent acquisition by Marvel Studios, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of the updates. But until we know more, what do you guys think? Who in this list of amazing talent do you think will bring the most value to the MCU? And I gotta hear your casting choices. Who do you think that actor has been cast as? Sound off in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you hit like, click subscribe, and if you don't ring that bell, you're not getting any updates. Peace.